U.S.-Guyana trade reaches US $1.4 billion. Extorting reporters released on bail. And 3 blacklisted firms bid for GTE project. I'm Enrico Bulford, and this is Uncut News. Do you see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. According to U.S. Ambassador Sarah Ann Lynch, trade between Guyana and the U.S. amounted to US $1.4 billion in the first half of this year. According to the Bank of Guyana, Guyana exported $1.7 billion of goods to the U.S. in 2021, contributing 39% to Guyana's exports by country. Guyana's imports from the United States amounted to $565 million in 2021, or 12% of Guyana's imports. Guyana's major exports to the U.S. included non-monetary gold, seafood, bauxite, wood, apparel, and household goods, while the major imports were iron and steel, machinery, foodstuff, animal feed, petroleum products, chemicals, computers and accessories, passenger vehicles, telecommunication equipment, and pharmaceuticals. On a related note, Lynch also said that the ball is still in Guyana's court when it comes to the current catfish importation ban. In 2018, the U.S. imposed a ban on Guyana's catfish, also known as gilbaka, over the apparent failure to have inspectors present at least 1 hour before the start of an 8-hour shift and insufficient documentation on how Guyana manages its adulterated catfish products. According to Lynch, the Fisheries Office of the U.S. Department of Agriculture has been helping to get all the paperwork in place, but the Guyana government still needs to provide the last little bit of paperwork. She also said that Guyana's compliance with all the required standards for catfish export is not in writing yet. They need to provide and meet those standards and show evidence of meeting those standards. However, Guyana has not given a timeline by which the documents would be provided, and there are no planned or requested visits by U.S. experts. Earlier this month, the president declared that it is a high priority to get the ban lifted. However, he is yet to give a timeline. The Ministry of Agriculture has moved ahead to issue bids for the rehabilitation of 72 landing sites and several fishing wharfs across the nation. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa told Guyana Chronicle that some $300 million has been allocated for the rehabilitation works. They will be doing some works at the Meadowbank Wharf, Rossignol, and some other wharfs around the nation. Yesterday, the governors of the Inter-American Development Bank voted unanimously to fire Mauricio Claver Caron with immediate effect after a whistleblower triggered an investigation which revealed that he was abusing his authority by having a relationship with a subordinate. The bank's executive vice president, Reina Irene Mejia from Honduras, is expected to take over as acting president until a successor is chosen. Claver Caron was the only American president in the bank's 62-year history, and he was nominated in 2020. While many other nations rejected the nomination, Guyana's government was one of the few that accepted the Trump-nominated candidate for the position. I wonder why. Former diplomat and GPL board member Kirk Hollingsworth has just won a $7.5 million libel suit against House Speaker Mansour Nadir and the PPP-owned and operated Freedom Radio. According to the case, on November 12, 2019, Nadir insinuated on Freedom House Radio that Hollingsworth obtained 3,000 square feet of land by corrupt means. According to Hollingsworth, the comments have affected him personally and financially, as he immediately lost a consultancy contract after those comments were aired. And since Nadir could not prove the validity of his accusations, the court ruled in Hollingsworth's favor. Parents and teachers of Santa Rosa Primary School in Region 1 protested the dilapidated state of their school building on Monday. According to the PTA, there is a $19.5 million allocation put aside to repair the school, which the RDC promised to use to do the necessary renovation, but up until now, nothing has been done. The protest triggered a response from officials within the Education Ministry and the region, resulting in a meeting between the two sides that led to an on-the-spot decision that the building would no longer be occupied until emergency remedial work is carried out. Speaking of protests getting results, foremen at the Blairmont Sugar Estate have officially ended their strike over what they call discrimination in granting a 5% salary increase to selected foremen who passed the test. In response, the management threatened them with disciplinary actions, but over the weekend, the VP and the Agriculture Minister directly intervened for the men, pausing the 5% pay increase until a more amicable arrangement can be reached. Your home is your most valuable asset. So before you sign on the dotted line, call VJS Home Inspections. They are a licensed and insured home inspection company with professionals operating in the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island, and Westchester County. From electrical and plumbing issues to a leaky roof. If there's a fault in the house, VJS will find it using the latest industry technology, including infrared scanners, HD drones, and more. So if you're buying or selling a home in New York, make the smart choice. Call VJS Home Inspections at 914-513-9356 and tell them Noriko sent you. It might not be robbery season, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, canine services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest, now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today. Today, journalists Alex Wayne and Gary Eliezer were released on $100,000 bail after they pleaded not guilty to attempting to extort $90 million from businessman Afras Mohammed. Wayne and Eliezer will return to court on November 1st. Starbrook News reports that Detective Sergeant Dion Bascom has been interdicted from duty and placed on half pay following his arraignment earlier this month on cybercrime charges. He was informed by letter on September the 16th. Bascom is now barred from wearing a uniform or exercising any policing powers pending the end of the case. On Monday, 35-year-old taxi driver Champion Chichester was slapped with 2 cybercrime charges for sharing a teacher's private photos. Chichester was charged with sharing the photos in question on July the 22nd and 25th of this year. He was released on $100,000 bail and was ordered to stay more than 100 feet away from the victim and ordered not to contact her as well. He will return to court on October 3rd. On Monday, the High Court sentenced Cleavon Hamilton and his co-accused Rana Charles Singh to life imprisonment for the 2016 murder of Simone Hackett, the mother of Hamilton's child. Earlier this month, the two were arraigned for the capital offense of murder, but opted to plead guilty to the lesser count of manslaughter. The judge ordered that the men be eligible for parole only after serving a minimum of 35 years. Over on the Essequibo coast, 33-year-old Rajveer Bisram pleaded guilty to cocaine trafficking after he was caught with 1 gram of the white stuff. He was fined $30,000 and ordered to do 180 hours of community service. If not, he will be sentenced to 3 years in jail. Now for today's oil update. According to Kaito News, out of the 5 international firms competing to build Guyana's gas-to-energy plant, all 3 of the Chinese companies bidding have been blacklisted by the World Bank as they are all accused of fraudulent practices such as bribing officials and falsifying documents. Those 3 are China Energy International Group Company Limited, China Machinery Engineering Incorporated, and Power China International Group Limited. It should be noted that the Vice President has since declared that the government only wants to use Western technology in the construction of the plant. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's Car of the Week. Currently on sale is this 2016 Toyota Crown Athlete. It comes with Bluetooth mount rims, new tires, TV, CD, stereo, fog lamps, park camera, and much more. Buy cash for $9.95 million, or pay as low as $1.99 million down with around $170,000 monthly for 5 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit the showrooms at 171 Peter Street, Queenstown, a lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them the Rico sent you for this sweet deal. Are you a truck owner? Pay close attention. Avoid lengthy downtime when your truck broke down. Get high-quality DAF, International, Freightliner, Bedford TM, or Scammell truck parts at the lowest prices at Powered Automotive. Visit them at Lot 1161 EE Eccles, or call them on telephone number 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. Now for our Uncut News Views Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. Yesterday, I asked, how do you feel about the PSC asking for today to be a holiday? By the way, it's not a holiday. Willow Darrow says, it's just a regular game. Imagine if it was a world championship game. What would they request? It seems like we already have a national holiday once a week already. RC View Farm says, definitely declare it a holiday. Guyana is the host, and the Guyana Amazon Warriors need our support. So let's celebrate together with a proper holiday. Meanwhile, Dimitri V says it's pointless. We've got enough holidays. It's just another reason for Guyanese to skip work, drink, and row. September 27th will have no other significance for any other year. No one's lives have changed because Guyana hosted cricket, except they gotta deal with traffic. Selected Dollar Bill says saying that it should be a national holiday is just selfish, honestly. You're telling me my child from Till at the back of Blackbush Polder will have to stay home from school because of how the traffic will be on the East Bank? However, KJ says cricket is a game loved by Guyanese people. Seeing that it's a Guyanese thing, it should be a national holiday. After all, we did qualify. Look at neighboring Brazil. Tools are downed when their favorite sport is being played. Football. Yes, but do they declare it a national holiday? I really don't know. And finally, Lash says nope, and only because of their justification and the last-minute nature of it. Had they thought this was necessary, they should have used their foresight and given the government a better reason, like allowing the Guyanese to participate in the full suite of activities during the carnival, and not just the cricket, ergo promoting overall local cricket viewership. The letter was weakly penned and executed, man. See y'all at work. Aha! Indeed. So, before we get to tonight's question, you can multiply your cash by selling Digicel Top-Up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. Now for tonight's question. Gordon asked this yesterday, and now I'm asking it too. How do you think sports could be used to build a better Guyana and encourage more unity? I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Enrico Bulford saying good night, folks.